You know, we are dealing, ooh, this lighting. We are dealing with a little blackout in the city. The light just recently went off. No TV, no microwave or anything like that. So basically, we are, I guess, I'm not gonna really be here. I'm gonna take my kids out because it's no point to being home when there ain't no light or anything like that. So I'm just gonna have to, take them out to let them enjoy themselves. And hopefully, when we come back home, there is power. If not, then I don't know how long the power is gonna be out. So hopefully, it does come back on when we come back home. But stay tuned for the rest of the video. All right, there ain't no light. Everything is dark. We got the firelight on. Come on. I go up the stairs. Go up. No light at all. We just got the emergency light on. Floor.
I don't feel like going back downstairs.
Oh, we want to schedule for tomorrow?
No. No. Heck no. This not getting in my way. I mean, tomorrow it's going to be the 80 degrees.
All right.
Don't care.
Made it to my floor.
Wow.
I got the emergency light on. It's dark over here.
The next day.
All right, so it's the very next day. Yesterday was crazy. We did had a blackout, as you can see in the video. I did took my kids out to, enjoy themselves, for until the lights come back on. Eventually they did. So now is a story time that, as you can see, that I'm gonna talk about how my ex-husband physically, put his hands on me. I did a video, I think a month or so, if I'm not mistaken. But this video right here on how I found out my husband cheated. But I was just kind of, thinking if I really wanted to put it out there or not. But hey, it's my story, it's my truth. I'm the one that had to live with it. So I'm the one that's going to put it out there. I don't care who gets upset. It's my truth. I do have a receipt too to prove that he did put his hands on me. So like I had said in my previous video that I had done before about how I found out that he had cheated on me with my neighbor, which is embarrassing, but you know what, I just leave it all in God's hands. I just move on from that. But it was more two of that relationship that was very toxic, and I had a lot of red flags. Yes, it was my fault. I should have paid attention to all the red flags, but me being young and dumb, I just, didn't want to pay attention to it. I had a lot of people coming to me and telling me I should leave him. This is not the one for me. And I just wanted overall to have, like I said, a family. I had seen my parents together for many, many years, and they're still going strong. God bless their marriage and them. I see my sister also in her marriage. She was in a very long, marriage and stuff like that. And I always wanted that. I always wanted that two-parent home. I never chose to be single. I never wanted to be single, parent and everything like that. But God had other plans, and I'm just, gonna learn from my mistake and keep pushing and make sure that my kids don't go through what I went through. All right, so let me get through this and explain how, my ex-husband physically put his hands on me. Now, it was just like a regular day, but me and him was married, I think, almost a year, if I'm not mistaken. We was almost married for a year. And it was kind of weird to me because he would never sleep in the same bed as me. Red flag. And I did not pay too much attention. Yeah, it was kind of odd that he didn't want to sleep in the same bed. Hey, I'm your wife. Why you not sleeping in the same bed with me? He's always sleeping in the living room. And, I've been feeling some type of way that I wasn't getting the attention that I needed from my husband. I felt more like a roommate to him instead of being his wife. So one particular day, I was just laying in bed. I got up approximately about 6 in the morning. And I couldn't sleep, so I got up. I went to the living room to see if he was there. He was gone. Didn't have no clue what this man was going. He was not answering his phone and everything, but me being dumb. Now that I had told y'all that he had cheated on me with my neighbor, didn't knew at the time he did until, I had found out the way I found out. And y'all will see the video that of the previous video that I had put out there. Yes, I was iffy about putting this video out because there's a lot of judgment people out there. But me, hey, I went through what I went through. So I'm not afraid for people to judge me because of what me staying with a man that had put his hands on me. But it's my story. So anyway, um, so he had came in the door and I was pissed off. I said, "Hey, where you was at?" He wasn't giving me no explanation. He wasn't telling me nothing. He was just giving me straight up attitude, telling me to mind my business. He was just, doing him. And at the time, I was arguing back. I was like, "Well, it's my business. If me and you are married and you went out to call your phone was off, and you didn't tell me where you was going or anything like that." So he was getting very anxious, very angry, and I just kept telling him, I was like, "Well, hey, you gotta let me know, where you was at, because ain't no way in hell you gonna go and disappear and then come back like nothing happened. I need like an explanation." So when he's like, "Okay, I'm about to go leave, I don't have to give you no explanation and everything." So he went to go grab his jacket, and when I went to grab his arm for him to talk to me, he swung the jacket and hit me across my face. So I was in shock because it's like the first time, he ever put his hands on me, like the first time. So yes, I was in shock when he did that because it's like the first time he ever, grabbed the jacket and just hit me and everything like that, because we did used to get into a lot of arguments and everything like that, but this is like the first time that he ever put his hands on me. So I was kind of shocked. I was upset. I was crying. I said, "How you do, you can do this, but you hit me with a jacket." And he just didn't really care. He just like went on his way. He ran down the stairs. I had called my sister, and then I had called one of my ex friends, which that's a different story. And I explained to them what was going on. And, they were telling me, well, I should have called the cops and everything like that. But again, me being dumb, I didn't, wanted to call the cops because I didn't want to see him get locked up. So a couple of hours had came down. He came back home. He apologized. Me being, like I said, dumb, I went and accepted his apology. Now, everything was good for the most part and stuff. Like a couple of days, he would act good. He will pretend to want to come to sleep in my bed, but that was just for him to get a wham bam, thank you, ma'am. And then he'll go right back to sleep in the living room. So then a week had passed by, and me and him, was not in good terms because I'm already feeling like, hey, there's no point being in this marriage because you constantly sleeping in the living room, you're not giving me affection, you're not, doing your husband duties, and I just don't want to be trying to be in this relationship. So I had kept giving him warnings after warnings after warnings, and he just like, "Oh, she's not leaving nowhere because we constantly arguing. She's coming back to me, and she ain't going nowhere." So months down the line, it was getting more intense. The marriage wasn't really working out for me, and I went to the courthouse a couple of times to try to get a divorce. But he used to always tell me, "If I can't have you, no one can." So that kind of like gave me a little red flag. So okay, so this man's gonna try to do something more than to trying to end my life or do something because he can't see me with another person. Mind you, I have my kids, so me being me, I'm thinking of my kids. Yes, I was wrong for even being in that circumstance, and when I do have kids, but I was young. So um a couple of months had went down, and one day I had to go to work, and when I went um to work, we had gotten into an altercation, like an argument or whatever like that, before I had left to work. So he had went out again, and he was doing him, and I didn't appreciate him constantly going out and thinking that it's okay for him to do him, and like making it seem like he's a single man, which he's not. So one day I was sitting in the living room, and we got into another argument because, he wanted to go and do his thing. And I was like, nah, like, we're going to sit down, we're going to have this conversation. If you're playing me out or you doing things, let me know. Well, mind you, I was kind of terrified because of the little thing that he said, "If I can't have you, no one can." So everything escalated, got into a real big heated argument. And for some odd reason, he grabbed this lamp that I have in my place. He grabbed it and was trying to hit me with it. But I had told him, you put that, you hit me with that lamp and everything like that, I'm going to press charges and I'm going to call the cops. So at that time, he didn't do it. He just threw the lamp and went on his merry little way. So a couple of hours had went by and he decided to come back to apologize like he always do when he doing things, and want to be all happy with me, showing me love and affection and everything like that. And like I had said from the beginning of the video, I didn't want to be a single mother because I did had my son in a previous relationship that ended up breaking up, and I was a single mom. And I just wanted my girls to have a father. Yes, it sounds crazy because this man had put me through a whole situation and everything like that. Yes, it's my fault for letting a man put his hands on me regardless of the whole circumstance. I should have been left. Yes, I understand. People want to say, "Oh, I'm done for still being with this man." Yeah, I don't know exactly how it feels if you're not in that position, because this man, mind y'all, had said, "If I can't have you, no one can." So that stood in my head. So anyway, so a couple of weeks had went by, and we're back again into this whole argument situation. Him not coming home, him want to pop up early in the morning, and me tolerating his bullshit. So one day I had to go to work, and my son had to miss a day of school because he had to go to the doctor's. So I had told him, hey, can you do me a favor, take my son to the doctor's appointment so I can go to work. So I had went to my parents' house, and I was supposed to start work around 12, and that's the time the doctor's appointment for my son. So I went to my parents' house to chill and everything. But me, when I was leaving out my parents' house because I had to go to work, I had seen him, and I had said, hey, I need the doctor's note so I can take it to school so they can know my son had missed the days because of the school. For some reason, he just got pissed off and didn't want to give me the doctor's note. I was like, yo, I need the doctor's note because I have to take it to the school. He said, oh, you act like I'm going to take my son's doctor's note. I'm looking at him like he crazy. Like, are you for real? Like, I really do need this doctor's note because he has to go and I have to go and take it to them so they will be able to know that he was at the doctor. So he was like yelling like he was crazy and some shit. But he was yelling and everything like that. I said, look, I need the doctor's note. So when he went to give me the doctor's note, this is embarrassing, but when he went to go give me the doctor's note, he brought up his fist and hit me, and then he spit on me. So right there, I was like, wow, this man did it again. So this time I didn't hold back. I didn't care. I was just fed up with it. I had called the cops. Now, the cops over here in New Jersey are shitholes. So I had called the cops, and he ran off. Once I called the cops, he had ran off. But first I called the cops and told the cops everything that transpired. Called my sister. I was crying. My sister was real pissed off. She wanted to go look for him because she couldn't stand the fact what he did. And so then the cops came, and they did us what's that called, a report about the whole situation and everything like that would transpire. I had to call my job and tell my job, hey, I can't come in, because I was a manager and I was supposed to close that day. I can't come in. I have to take care of some situation. So they took me to the police precinct. I did file a report on him. They claimed to say that they did found him, but they didn't arrest him. Typical. So we did set up a court date for him to show up to court because of the abuse that he had did. I was embarrassed. I was sick to my stomach, and I'm saying to myself, damn, why did I gotta put myself into this position? My parents kept telling me, hey, leave this man alone. This man is no good. My sister, my brother kept telling me that it was a whole chaos through my whole relationship and marriage. They kept telling me, why is you still being with this man? Why is you letting this man do all these things and you just, don't want to end the relationship with him? So when the time had came for us to go to court, I did showed up, and he was there, but then he left. Typical. But anyway, so there I had went, He was trying to come back like always, wanted to apologize and everything. So then, a couple of, because he at that point when he had did what he did, spit on me and hit me a couple of weeks, he didn't came or anything like that because I was already fed up with him. And then at one particular time, it's gonna, yeah, people probably gonna say, "Oh, this girl's crazy." No, no, no. This is what actually happened. I was sleeping one time, and in my dream, uh, my grandfather that passed away years, he came into my dream and he's like, "Jen, leave this man because this man is gonna continue to keep doing it. He's gonna continue to keep doing the same thing." So my grandfather kept repeating the same thing. So I had got up, and mind you, my parents were telling me the same thing. My sister, my brother was telling me this whole, the same thing and everything like that. And for some reason, I just didn't took their advice. But when my grandfather came to my dream and told me about it, I got up and he was trying to come back. And for some reason, I got the courage. I told him, no, I don't want to be in this relationship no more. I am done. I am done with the whole constantly going back and forth with you. I am done with you cheating on me. I am done with you, putting your hands on me when you got pissed off and everything like that. I'm just particularly over and done. So he stood in shock. He said, "Oh, well, I know you're going to come right back." So I kept my foot down, and he used to always come because at that present time I had gotten full custody of my girls. He used to only have parenting time where he'll come and visit. And even with that, he'll come and visit and there'll be a whole chaos, a big old argument and everything that has to kick him out my house and stuff. So I stood my ground, didn't went back again with this man, and I did everything in my power to try to get a divorce from him. Now, it been it had been years that I've been to, not years, but a year or two, and say that I've been trying to file for a divorce. He did not want to give me a divorce. My lawyer got in contact with him. He will jump from place to place though where they can't serve him with divorce papers, and it was a whole bunch of chaos with this whole situation. So at one time he had came for a visit and we got into it, and I had told him that he needs to leave and he wanted to see the kids, and I said I can't have you come around seeing the kids if you acting the way that you acted. And at that time he was doing substance, and you are, getting high, and I can't have that around my kids. So he goes and he tell me, well, if you're not gonna let me see my kids, I'm gonna kidnap them. Right there, I had called the cops, and I explained to the cops what was going on. My sister, my kids was coming, and her husband, and God rest his soul, was coming as well. And the cops said, "Oh, well, they can't really do nothing. We have to take it to family court." I said, "Really? This man just threatened to kidnap my kids, and you want me to go to family court to file a complaint and everything like that?" I said, "This can't be real." So from that time, I told him he's not. I called my landlord, told him he's not allowed to come around. He's not allowed to come around and see my kids because of what he, has said to me and everything like that. They did every police report like always, and nothing happened. So from the time that me and him had broken up, and me fighting to try to get my divorce, this man was giving me a hard time and always kept saying, if I can't have it, no one can. It's like a little thing that he had when he see me by myself. Or he'll try to swerve in and trying to help me with stuff. And I said, no, I don't need no more of your help. And it was like me having this hate towards this man. I didn't want to be around him. I don't want to look at him or anything like that. So from, I think, February 2020, I had finally did another paper from divorce, and he was intoxicated and everything, and he had signed. Now, I'm not going to tell you how everything had transpired, how I went and got the divorce, but I can just say this was God on my side, because when I had went to the courthouse, he never showed up, and the judge had said, I'm going to grant you your divorce. When I said I was happy, I felt a big relief off of me, and I said, all right, finally, I could just officially move on from this man. But I guess not. This man kept on antagonizing me. Uh, See me wanted to start a whole big ass chaos. He had went around and told his sister, which I can't stand her, all this bunch of lies of how I'm keeping the kids away from him and how I'm doing this and doing that. It was a lot. Like I say, that from the marriage all the way to me divorcing him, and he got more furious because he found out that I did divorce him, and he wanted to take me to court to get custody of my kids. And they found, he never showed up because I had a mediation with him, and he was not going to take me to court, but I went to court, didn't show it up, so they dropped that and everything. And then from I have noticed that when he wanted to see his kids, he always wanted to come and try to swerve us in, try to make it seem like he wanted to be in a relationship with me and everything. And I stood my foot down because of the dream that my grandparents said. That's like, I'm not going back with you. Don't want nothing to do with you. Just let it be. Leave me alone. And he, had all to try to put harm's way into my kids, and I was not going to let that happen as well. So from till that day of how 2020, I could say from 2020, I think 2023, 24, around 2023, that's when he just completely left me alone. And I could say I am happy that everything that had transpired in my life has officially ended. I still, got full custody of my girls, which I am truly blessed. They are a blessing to me. He have not came around to see them woman. I'm happy that he's not coming around to put that toxic on my kids and everything, because he had missed a lot on my kids. He had missed graduation, birthdays, the ceremony of my girls and everything. He had missed a lot. But I am blessed that I do have the family that I do have and have been there from the beginning with my kids, and even my sister's husband, may God rest his soul, has been there from the beginning. My kids did not miss out at all. I busted my ass to make sure my kids was good. I learned my lesson from this whole relationship. I have been single for now 13 years. I am happy that I'm still single. When God is right, when God sends me the right one, then I will know. I had to find myself again. I had to self-love myself again, to not accept the things that I had accepted back then. I learned my big lesson. There was a red flag all over, and I was just ignoring them. Yes, like I said, it was my fault for still being in this relationship, but I wanted it to have a two-parent home, and me looking at it, it's like, girl, you couldn't get a two-parent home with this toxic relationship. And now I know that. So for my mistakes, I am teaching my girls and I'm teaching my son to not accept anything that a female or male would tell you. If a male or a female would decide to put their hands on you, it's best for you to leave the relationship and move forward. I'd rather have my kids find self-love of themselves than losing themselves in a relationship the way that I did. It took years for me to get where I am now. I am truly blessed. I have learned my lesson. And whoever's out there that is like me, just open up your eyes and realize that it's never too late for you to leave that person. It may be scary because that person will threaten you and everything, but you have to do what's best for you and for the kids. But overall, guys, this is my story on how my ex-husband, put his hands on me. Life goes on. I learned my lesson. And now I am, been starting my new chapter. And like I said, I've been single for a very long time. And when God is ready to send me the right person, then I'm more and ready to open up. But I will not be accepting anything that I had accepted in my past. All right, guys. So here's all the story time I have for y'all for today. Thank y'all for tuning in all the way to the end. And I'm about to go and pick up my daughter, and I'll see you next time.